A man found Chris and said if he stood on the square at his feet for an hour, he would give him $50.
You're messing with me.
Seeing that Chris didn't believe him, David turned to leave, but Chris stopped him, making sure David wouldn't go back on his word. Then he agreed. Chris just stood there. Soon an hour passed. David appeared as promised.
No fucking way.
Great job.
Chris excitedly took the $50. Just graduated, he hadn't expected making money to be so easy. Seeing him so happy, David said if he came and stood here every day, he would pay him $200.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to.
Very good.
Great.
From then on, Chris came to work every day. A former friend invited him to go skateboarding. He carefully said he couldn't leave the square. The friend left disappointed. That day he saw no one around, so he stepped half a step out of the square but quickly stepped back. But he had stood there for a long time, and David hadn't come to pay him. He realized there was a price for stepping out. From then on, he never broke the rule again. One day, a thief ran past him. Immediately, a woman who had been robbed flew in. Her legs disabled, she begged Chris for help.
I can't.
What do you mean you can't?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
The woman kept pleading, but Chris still refused to leave the square. In the end, she went away to seek help elsewhere. Chris watched her walk away, feeling a little regretful. But soon David brought today's payment and disappeared again into the street corner. Chris was curious what he actually did, so this time he secretly followed David to the building where he lived. Then he saw him sitting by the window applying paint to his face, putting on a nose and a wig. David, all dressed up in the day, became a clown at night. Chris finally understood that everyone had their own compromises, after who knows how long. Chris had grown a beard and looked like an adult. He saw children skateboarding in the square and felt a tinge of envy. Then David appeared again.
There you go, your day's pay.
At this point, Chris no longer felt joy about the wages. But then David took him to another square. The squares were bigger and the pay higher.
This thing is massive. Look at all this room. You can see the bridge from here.
You earned it.
This gave the confused Chris hope. So he worked even harder. After who knows how long Chris had white hair, his pay had risen to $2,000 a day. But this time he suddenly called out to David.
But I'd like to retire now if I could.
It's been a pleasure working with you two.
Chris was finally free, but he still didn't leave the square. He stood there for a long time, thinking about what he could do after retirement. Soon he spotted two young girls, so he took off his Rolex and traded it for their skateboards. Chris held the skateboards feeling thrilled. Finally, he had time to pick up his old hobby, but his body was no longer what it once was.